Hello and welcome to Ula and Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Cat here. All right. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say today. Okay, Aquarius, our card is the Queen of Wands. Yes. Great evolution, change. I see movement, migration, the birds going north for the summer, going south for the winter. Wherever you are, we're in that transitory, in-between season. Spring in the southern hemisphere, and although I'm sure it's almost like summer down there by now, I imagine, and in the north, of course, we're headed into winter. Although where I'm at, it's gonna be almost 90 degrees this weekend. I don't know, I can't even remember the last time it's been that warm. And I think it's gonna be October this weekend. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the end of September still. I don't know. But let's take a look here, okay? Where do we want to start? We have these mirrored images, okay? And these both look like a goddess. Well, not unlike the goddess here. And this is Ereshkigal. Some people will relate it to Inanna or Ishtar. I don't think that is the case. This is a night side goddess. This is the sister of Ereshkigal, of Inanna or Ishtar. And but who knows, right? These are all from distant times. But this is a feminine consciousness of great power, great actualization, really putting energies into self, okay? Being that thing that history does not like women to be, right? Self-empowered, whole, self-reliant, not afraid to strike out on your own path, living your own story. Oh, what a terrible thing. What an awful thing to be, right? Well, that's very confronting to a lot of people. But I'm talking to Aquarius. And of course, let me just say, disclaimer, you do not have to identify ever as the gender that I'm talking about. You don't have to identify as a woman, other, on the spectrum of, or as male, okay? It does not matter. These are all archetypes that exist within all of us, okay? They're just aspects of self. And so, this really is kind of that, well, it could be the anti-mother, kind of a Lilith in some ways. This is not Lilith, by the way. That's another one that people think this relief is. It's not. But these are all kind of in the same vein, right? Same, maybe composites of one another, maybe not. I don't know. But this could be the anti-mother. And this is not anti-motherhood, but this is a being, a woman, a you know, a feminine energy that chooses not to procreate. Okay. Though we do know goddesses like Lilith, although not the archetype of a mother like maybe Eve, still a mother of many things, right? So there could be that aspect here, kind of somebody who decides not to be within a family unit or post-family, right? Or maybe a unconventional family dynamic. You know, there are a lot of different ways to exist, right? And exist alongside people you care about. And so, you know, this is another thing. It can be very confronting when people do not have conventional dynamics kind of in their life. But, you know, I'm a firm believer we all kind of are unconventional. Even if we present a certain way to the world, we all have interior lives, you know, and we're all a little bit eccentric, all a little bit revolutionary, right? And so, you know, I think that this is also really, it does have that kind of rebellious spirit. And that I'm going to kind of, you know, I'm going to create my own way. And that's a beautiful thing. Now we have this beautiful bird here. This one reminds me of maybe like a, not a pheasant, but like a fancy, one of those kind of fancy birds. Like maybe a pheasant or a fancy chicken or something like that, but really a image, a symbol of sharp intellect, okay, beauty, the ability to kind of move in a way that is, you know, fast and sharp, stealth in some ways. And also just kind of, you know, otherworldly, although these are, you know, animals that have been around for millions and millions of years. They kind of have that strange dinosaur glitchy looking movement. So anyways, something to behold, okay? Something a little out of the ordinary, at least in this modern era, right? And so I feel like this definitely, you know, I think that people probably experience you as something very special. They remember you, right? They come in contact with you, and you change their life experience because you're not just more of the same. You know, and I think part of this is because you have walked through hell, and it did not stop you, right? You're fortified by those fires. You are that Queen of Wands, and I think, you know, not much really could stop you. You have a will that is beyond, and you kind of just stay moving. You're getting into this next cycle. I think that we have a lot of, when we have a rooster here, we have a lot of abundance, a lot of power, confidence going into this next thing. You know, I think that this last little cycle has been troubled. You know, you've maybe faltered a little bit, maybe emotionally, but that's not going to stop you. You're only going to come back stronger from all of this. And I think that, you know, because of the way that things have gone, there's been a departure from how you felt before all of it went down. It's changed you. You know, maybe not completely, but it has changed how you experience your life, really. And let's see. We have so many birds on this one. I keep seeing birds. So we have, again, the birds that are in the flight, or they're in flight, and I would say this is a sign of the migration. We have the rooster, which is a power sign and abundance. Then we have a duck here. That looks like it's about to jump off into the water, kind of getting itself moving along, sailing along. Okay, and then we have a duck in flight right here. Okay, and so, you know, it's just really this feeling of wanting to move along. We also have a fish right here that's in the water. So I feel like you were, you know, the fish is abundance, 100%. In water, I would say that this is like, you know, you're in your natural place, natural environment. You move quickly, you know, you feel like you know what you're doing, okay? And you know, although I think that there are emotions that are coming up and this is still going to be a process, I feel like there's a lot of motivation to kind of resort how you've been living, you know, and with the fire energy, the only thing that I would say is let's just be mindful to not go so far into the change that we're doing, like, you know, scorched earth. And if you don't know what that is, that's when you basically burn everything down. It's like a war technique, or, you know, whatever. So they burn all the trees and landscape down, so you know, nobody can hide and they don't have any advantage. So don't go that far though, okay? I don't think burning down your life is the answer here. I think that you know, we all have those moments where, like, you know, I'm just gonna I'm out of here, you know, like I'm done. It's time to move along completely. But I think that really this is more about kind of changing some aspects, you know, refocusing your energies, putting your energy into things that you find useful, interesting, you know, your passion is ignited, and so on. I want to point this out because I keep looking at it. It is a Taurus symbol. So I think, and this is in the emotional, so I think that there's a Taurus person who is important to you. And this is important to the story in some way. I think that this is a positive. And, you know, as I'm looking at this, I almost see two people sitting. If you can see, two people sitting, and it looks like they maybe are having dinner. So maybe this is somebody to spend some time with, to commune with, you know, to talk to about the things that you're feeling and your ideas and your hopes and aspirations, okay? You know, it's always good to have somebody that you feel that you can kind of bounce some ideas off, because sometimes, and I am the queen of this, having really good ideas, I don't talk about them. And once, you know, I start, or I do start talking about, you know, I go to my husband and we talk about things, and I start to realize that's not very it's not very logical. That doesn't seem like it's gonna work, you know. And so sometimes we really do, we need to talk things out. And so having somebody in your life where you can kind of really, you know, discuss, that's not a bad thing. And let's see, we have, I feel like I'm looking at this, it's in this rim, which is the metaphysical, kind of the universe, the cosmic consciousness. And I see a person walking on stepping stones. So I think that this is really a time to be quite mindful of your footing, right? Intentional movement, at least usually I call like something akin to exercise or moving your body to intentional movement. Movement with intention, or that's not it either. Just being mindful of where you're putting your feet, okay? I think that this is just really having awareness, okay, of your decision making and which way that, you know, you're moving. When we get into these zones of, you know, self-evolution, of changing aspects of our life, moving things around, you know, I think that it's important to be present and really looking at your options, because sometimes we just, you know, there are missteps. Sometimes they can be, you know, really detrimental, you know, or people taking advantage emotionally. I have to say that, you know, I had a really long relationship. Well, to me it was really long, over 10 years. And my partner died, and this was before my husband, obviously. And during that period, after, when I was, you know, widowed and grieving, and this was years before I met my husband, but there were just so many people. I mean, people are drawn to, for some reason, people are drawn to a sad story, or somebody who, you know, is suffering, somebody who is hurting, somebody who's vulnerable. Okay, so you have to be careful. Okay, you know, it was a weird time. I was pretty young still, so maybe that was part of it, but I was in my early 30s, and a lot of strange people. Not strange, but I mean, their intentions were strange, you know. And I think people just kind of, it's like smelling a weakness or like an opening, you know, somebody who has kind of their decision making is kind of altered, right? Because you're in the throes of a lot of pain. And so anyways, I think that as you grow stronger, of course, it maybe gets a little easier, and you definitely have those stronger boundaries, I think. But when you are, you know, kind of rearranging your life and stuff, you just be mindful not to get taken advantage of. You know, I absolutely, you know, well, obviously, I don't like seeing anybody in pain. I absolutely will not stand for anybody being taken advantage of. That's ridiculous. You know, people can be kind of awful to one another, you know, and we have to watch out for each other. So, let's see. We have, and, you know, I really feel like we have this kind of, it is an ascent here. And at the top of this little mountain, I see a person who is kind of in a relaxed, almost I would say, leisurely posture. So I kind of think that, you know, this is also a really important time for you to be allowing yourself to have, you know, some frivolous experiences, you know, just some dalliances, enjoyments, you know, go do some silly fun things, you know, maybe sleep in, you know, go do, I don't know, the first thing that came to mind is like go to wine country or something, go apple picking, you know, go on a little day trip, whatever it is. I think that, you know, when we're getting into a situation where we're changing a lot of stuff, important to do some things that help us blow off some steam, allow us to just kind of be, okay? And then we have the Divine Doors cards. These are cards of inspiration, and I love doors. I am a big fan of sacred doors, regular doors, any old doors. I really like them. So when I saw this deck of cards, I thought, okay, these are for me. I need these. Okay, and then we're just gonna stop where it feels right. All right, I love this one with the blue, kind of that antique blue color. And it says, deeper, you are not finished. You are not yet done. Dig deeper and deeper. The best is yet to come. Hold on. Hold on. And then it says, pass this card on. So usually you would pass these cards on to somebody else, some of them. But I use them for readings, so I'm going to keep them. But a really cool deck of cards. All right, Aquarius, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these readings to you, these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And as we know, the algorithm is kind of the ruler of the universe right now, and we like to make it happy with engagement, and those are things like liking the video, sharing the readings on other social media platforms, watching the videos from the beginning to the end. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Between now and the next Aquarius, if you want to watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus, your cross-watching for your loved ones, please go ahead and do that if you are so inclined. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. They mean so much to me. They really do make my day. So, Aquarius, I'm going to say thank you, and we'll talk in just a few days.